Hey, Tommy from the Run Testers. In this video, I'm going to be doing a full review of the New Balance Fuelcell Propel V5. Let's see what I thought. The New Balance Fuelcell Propel V5 costs £120 or $119.99. It weighs 265 grams or 9.3 ounces for men in a size 8 and the drop is 6mm. The Propel V5 is New Balance's entry-level shoe in the Fuelcell lineup. Like the Rebel V4, it uses the brand's Fuelcell foam to provide a balanced ride that combines cushioning with versatility, although New Balance does tend to tweak Fuelcell to provide a different ride across the range. Along with the foam, the shoe also features a TPU plate to deliver a snappier ride and allow for picking up the pace, and a well-structured upper design built for comfort and support. The outsole design is similar to that found on the Rebel V4, with a generous layer of rubber to protect the softer Fuelcell foam and provide plenty of grip. So I'm a size 8 in the UK. I would say that the Propel V5 does fit me. I would stick to my size in this shoe, but it is a little bit more restrictive than what you will find in some of the other New Balance shoes. So there's not loads of space in the forefoot and around the side of the forefoot. It's quite a restrictive upper. If you do have slightly wider feet than me, then you're probably going to have a bit of an issue with this. And if you like to have extra space before the toe, you might want to size up half a size in this shoe. I was okay with it. I've not had any issues in the 60k of running that I've done in this shoe so far, but it does feel a little bit restrictive. I actually like my shoes to feel a little bit on the leaner side when it comes to fit, but I know some of you don't. So you may want to size up half a size in this shoe. So when I did the first run review of the Propel V5, I was very impressed with it. I thought it was a very enjoyable shoe to run in, very comfortable. The first run that I did in it was a 10k-ish easy run, but I did pick up the pace a little bit in it. And for that sort of run, it's fantastic. It's a great value shoe that just does the job if you're going out and clocking up the miles and you just want something comfortable that has a nice level of cushioning in it, but also just feels very supportive and structured in terms of the upper. It's just a very good value daily shoe from that first run. However, in the 60k of testing that I've done in it, I've done a few different types of run in it now. So I've done a longer run in it up to 14k. I have done an interval session in it, which included a number of 90-second sprints or faster sections at my 5k 10k pace, and what I've found about this shoe is that it does have some limitations if you're looking at it as a versatile trainer. So as a daily shoe where you're just using it for easier runs, maybe longer runs at a comfortable pace, it's very good value, one of the best value options out there at the moment, as we mentioned in our best shoes roundup. But what I found is that midsole is very soft. It's a really, really soft midsole, which is fine at easy runs. And if you're just sort of chugging along and getting your mileage. But when you are running at faster pace, that soft midsole really becomes noticeable at those paces. So when I'm running at a faster pace, I'm hitting the ground a lot harder, and that softness really does feel a little bit sluggish if you're picking up the pace in this shoe. When I did the first run in it, it did feel like it had a bit of energy return in it, and it does at very short intervals if you're not really hitting it hard. But what I found during the interval session that I did in this is that I really noticed that midsole really squishing in hard, and I didn't enjoy it for those intervals. It might also be an issue if you are heavier running, because you're really going to feel that softer midsole really compress when you're running in it, and it's not particularly it's not well designed for that. So I don't think it's good if you're going to be doing anything performance related, or if you're a heavier runner and you need a little bit more rigidity and a bit more support in that midsole to deaden the impact, because it doesn't do that. It does feel like it squishes quite heavily when you're hitting the ground. at a with a bit of force. But what I would say is that overall it is a really nice, enjoyable shoe to run in, especially if you're just using it for your daily runs. If you're looking for something that has a nice level of softness in it, when you're doing those easy runs, that softness is actually very nice. And it's even though it's not the most versatile shoe in the world, you can run a little bit faster in it, as long as you're not going all out and sort of ramming that midsole foam all the way down. So other than that, other things I would say about it is the outsole is pretty good. There's quite a good layer of outsole on this shoe, very similar to many of the other New Balance newer shoes that have come out, things like the Rebel V4, very similar outsole to that. One thing, it does have this big cavity in it, and that does collect stones. I've collected a few stones whilst I've been out on the run, because I've been hitting quite a lot of public footpaths when I've been going off-road a little bit. I've not been doing trails in this shoe, but when I'm going on the areas where there's lots of little bits of rock and stuff, it does pick up in that. The other thing I would say as well, it does have this plate in it. I don't think the plate really does a lot when it comes to performance. It doesn't seem to you don't really feel this plate when you're out running in it. I think what it actually does more of is helps to stabilize that really soft midsole foam. So it's a plate that is more designed for those daily runs. If you didn't have that plate in it and it was just this foam, it would be really noticeably soft. So I think that does add a little bit of firmness to it, and helps to sort of spread out that midsole foam so that you've got a little bit more support in the midsole. But as a plate, don't look at this shoe thinking that plate's going to give you some performance benefits, because it doesn't. It's really just there to add a little bit of support and stability. You can't really feel it when you're out on the run, so it's definitely not a performance shoe from that perspective. Other things I'll say about the shoe is that the front of the midsole, so I really only noticed that softness on the back when I was running fast. The front of the midsole, the forefoot, is actually very nice. When you pick up the pace, I didn't feel that being in any way sappy. It did feel like there was a little bit of energy return in the forefoot of the shoe. It's only on that heel section that I really notice it when I'm running fast. It really squishes in noticeably, so just bear that in mind. It's definitely not a shoe that's designed for doing fast reps in or anything like that. But overall, solid experience over the course of those runs. Think it is a good option if you're looking for a little bit of a good value workhorse that is comfortable and is enjoyable on those easier runs and those daily runs. Also a really comfortable walking shoe as well. I think this is one of those shoes that ticks a lot of boxes for people that maybe are more general runners, and they want a shoe that looks nice, is comfortable, and you can run in it as well, especially when it's the easier, more general type of running. So my verdict on the New Balance Propel V5 is that it's a good value shoe that is a bit limited when it comes to versatility. It's a shoe that if you're the sort of runner that just wants something that's very comfortable, you're going out and you're ticking off the 10Ks, maybe you have it as part of a rotation, which is for your easy runs. It's very good for that. It's comfortable. I like that midsole foam. It doesn't really give you anything outside of those easy runs or those longer runs at a nice comfortable pace, because once you start doing more performance focused stuff in it, that midsole foam is just a little bit too soft, and you don't really get a lot back from it, and it's really noticeable in the heel section of the shoe. So when you put it up against shoes like the Puma Velocity Nitro 3, it's quite similar in a lot of ways. It's very similar price. It feels in some ways like that shoe, but I think there's just a bit more in the Puma Velocity Nitro 3. It's the midsole's a bit firmer. You can definitely pick up the pace a bit more in that shoe. That is a very good value all-rounder shoe. I think this is a good value, easy day shoe, daily shoe, but definitely doesn't have any performance elements to it. It's definitely not a versatile shoe, but it is very comfortable to run in. So take that into consideration. I would probably say if you are looking for a good value shoe and you just want one shoe to do all of your running in, the Puma Velocity Nitro 3 is a better option. If you're looking to do a bit faster sessions in it, things like that. Whereas I think this is probably going to be a good value shoe if all you want to do is those easy, comfortable runs and you want something really soft and comfortable and cushioned, but isn't going to give you a lot back. There's not a lot of energy return in this shoe, and it's not going to give you any sort of versatility for you picking up the pace. I wouldn't use this for track. I wouldn't use this for racing. I'd only use it if I was just going out, enjoying a 10K, enjoying a 15K, maybe even a 20K, but at a very comfortable, enjoyable pace. that's it from me on this full review of the New Balance Fuelcell Propel V5. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, click the little bell, all of those sorts of things. And if you're going to catch info, you kind of need to our podcast, which comes out at the end of each month. Thanks a lot for watching. Catch you next time.